into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Ladies and gentlemen, you know it, I know it. This is the music of our favorite superstar, Eva Marie. We'll talk about that when she's here, but welcome to
She's here. She's here.
She's waiting at the door.
Holy crap.
I mean, isn't she in town still? Anyway.
Bar the door.
Anyway, welcome to the original NXT After Show. This is AfterBuzz TV's. No, this is the original. This is the very first place where you could talk about just NXT and everybody would be fine with it. I am your host, the Internet Soapbox Mark. You can find me on Twitter at Soapbox Mark. You can follow all of us and the conversation going on with the hashtag ABTVNXT. Joining me as always is, what do I call you?
I don't know, wrestling's biggest underdog.
Wrestling's biggest underdog.
Sure.
The
hardest
hobo.
working man in hobo business.
In no business.
In no business. Which is kind of a misnomer. I work really, really hard.
You do.
All hobos.
Tell the folks where to find you.
At True Hobo on the Twitter. And let me start out by saying to my lovely wife, thanks for 8 great years together. Today is our anniversary.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I'm here. What a terrible person I am.
You're a pretty terrible person.
And just want to wish her all the best.
And at this time, just to save some time, we would like to wish our best to the Hobette because she will end up killing the hobo in cold blood. Much blessings to his family. Mazel tov.
Peace
So
be upon his name.
let's get to the show. June 3rd. Today is June 4th. Silly me.
June 4th.
We start out with a Hell in a Cell recap between Kevin Owens and John Cena. People have been talking about this match all week. I mean, and this phrase probably gets thrown around a lot, but I would say a match of the year candidate.
Yeah, very strong.
And the story.
Yeah, very strong with the story. Honestly, it was. It left a lot of questions in the lead into it. We've seen Kevin Owens wrestle a certain style on NXT, and I was wondering to myself, is he going to keep that style? Because basically the stipulation is completely different. The title is not on the line. He is not being threatened. So will he meet Cena full force? The answer was yes. 100% head-to-head, like two charging animals.
And luckily enough, we do get to see that match again at Money in the Bank in just 2 weeks.
Jesus, really?
Well, the thing is, they added Elimination Chamber, which broke up the 4-week cycle.
Damn it. All right. It's still, there's an interesting math problem posed in the whole Owens and Cena thing. So, Owens beats Cena. Cena's never beaten Owens. If anybody beats Owens, they're automatically better than Cena, which means they're better than basically everybody else on the roster.
And I think they can stick that to the main roster unless we get to the big announcement of tonight where there's another big shakeup. But we get to see the match again. We'll get to that announcement. It was capped at the top of the show that Regal was going to be making a special announcement later in the day with that weird voiceover that we seem to be getting more and more of.
He had a press conference.
Sure he did. So our first match of the night was Tyler Breeze versus Adam Rose. Sort of a blow-off. I know what your face is for.
Yeah.
Sort of a blow-off of when Breeze attacked Rose during their tag team match several weeks earlier. Now, it sounds like it got to you two because it got to me. No energy whatsoever from Adam Rose.
Okay, now here's why. Adam Rose, without any sort of Adam Rose-isms,
None.
is a heel version of Adam Rose versus Tyler Breeze, who is generally to be disliked completely and at all times. People love to hate him. So here you have a guy that people don't like and a guy that people love to not like, and we're stuck with this kind of sitting on our hands. Like, I'm not sure what we do here.
NXT is still the place where you go to get those traditional Adam Rose performances and those Adam Rose reactions, because people were still chanting, they were still singing along with the music like they would, but he just seemed so out of it. And even so, that the match started with, we want Kruger no we don't chants.
No, we don't.
If the crowd wanted Leo Kruger, he'd probably still be around and never would have changed his entire gimmick.
To quote the late, great B.B. King, the thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away.
And this seems like another example of the writers on top not giving any respect to the writers at NXT for the character building that happens down there. He was one of the earliest ones to show up. He had a gimmick that people, just like, well, NXT is a little bit smaller, so they kind of got it right away. But when you're traveling, as opposed to staying in the same spot, they needed to give him time, which they did not. And they, after a month or two, they started changing him, which we're not getting the same guy, and it's not as fun. We're getting no faff. We're getting no happiness, seemingly.
There's no point. There's nothing that differentiates him from anybody else on the roster. He's just now a wrestler.
He's wearing indie pants, for goodness sakes.
He wore, like, name brand kick pads.
Yeah.
That was, like, one of the shots was like, I see the logo on your kick pad.
It was ridiculous. Needless to say, despite all of that, this match was fantastic.
It was a great match.
They give it 2 segments.
And here's the thing. Both of the individuals in this match, despite it not being really a good match, I mean, at least from the point of view of the audience getting behind it, all the audience members completely respect these two individuals. So they're willing to enjoy this. They're willing to give it their time and attention, but it didn't get the ovation that I feel it would have garnished if things were a little different.
And if everybody was in the proper gimmick, you know? It's weird. They experimented again with like a heel versus like two tweener type of things.
It was basically a double heel because, I mean, Rose's initial offense in this was a quick boot to the gut and then a few strikes. Like that's not what a wrestler does. That's what a guy who doesn't care about the rules does. And it wasn't set up to be one of those situations like, oh, I'm gonna get back at this guy because it was too cool. Too much time had passed between the actual event and now the follow-up to that, so it just didn't work.
I do agree with that. I also loved all of the headlock takedowns and sticking with the headlock. Like that's something that you don't see too often. Wasn't there a match where it was like 20-30 minutes of that, like on the lower professional circuit? It was like an Iron Man match.
Yeah, what was that?
And it was just a dude trying to get out of a headlock for like 20-30 minutes.
I want to say it was Claudio Castagnoli and
Brian.
I forget who else. Maybe Brian.
Probably Brian. Great performance from everybody. We got to see Cactus Elbow from the apron. Everybody was chanting Foley. Damn deserve it. Oh, that's right. Foley was in the crowd, and after the recording, he said, keep an eye out for the Tyler Breeze Adam Rose match, because there's definitely a callback to Cactus Jack in there.
Oh, yeah.
Who would you say was in control more in this match? Because I thought it was more Rose.
It was dead even. It felt like Rose because Rose really kept the pace down. He kept things more under control. But I feel as far as move for move, it was about dead even. Can I just say though that Rose is in fantastic shape? His body percentage has got to be single digits, low single digits. He is just in phenomenal shape right now.
I can understand that. And then also we have, I'm watching the chat right now, so if you're not watching us live every week, depending on if we have an interview or not,
Not this week.
Not this week. But we follow the chat, or at least I do.
You do.
So we got Zuri Frazier, friend of the show, helps us out from time to time with some of our points. He brings up a very like, stand back, you're right sort of a thing. Stop blaming the main roster for everything. And that's true. We do tend to have a little bit of pride in our show, and when folks go up, there tends to be a change, and we're not necessarily blaming them. Sometimes we flat out are. I'm not going to deny that.
No.
But it's sad. There's a generational gap between the folks down at NXT and the folks up on the main roster, and it's just a little bit more apparent with how much characters tend to change.
We're just very protective
of
what we feel. We feel on our show like we're on the cutting edge, because that's what NXT is a lot of times. It's what is the next big thing, and when we feel something is the next big thing and it sort of falls flat, we get defensive because we like certain things or whatever, and we tend to look for somebody to point the finger at. Because it's not the performers. It's really not. These people are working hard, so very hard, day in, day out. It's just a shame that people look at the wrestlers more to blame than anybody else.
We wish that people could see what we have been saying on a weekly basis for X amount of months or years. So thank you for calling us out on that. We don't just like positive comments. Anything that you do can help improve the show.
And that was positive. Technically,
it was.
Keep it positive. Don't blame other people. Don't blame always the main roster. Then, you got it. You got it.
There's that's something that's been said about our show from a lot of different folks,
Yeah.
and we try to keep it that way. Let's talk about Dana. No, I'm totally kidding. There's so many times I can use that joke. Solid match. Rose calls for the finish, presumably the clothesline, because he was running at him.
He keeps working for that slice. He's going back to Leo
He got him in the
Kruger's old
corner.
finish.
He got him in the corner, and it was huge.
Yeah.
Super solid match. Calls for the finish. Tries to hit him with something. Ducks. Hits the ropes. Beauty shot. Tyler Breeze is your winner in this opening contest. If you're watching this for some reason before you've seen the show, it's the first match on the show, but don't skip it. Do not skip this match.
Definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm. We get a backstage segment from Solomon Crow being interviewed by Devin Taylor and Devin.
Devin.
Devin. She was actually in action over the weekend at Divas over the weekend in a Divas tag match.
She was.
Yeah, a 6-woman tag match. I forgot if she was face or heel, but
okay.
They may be working on bringing her back up since she's been on TV.
Look more for Devin Taylor.
Yeah, keep an eye out. One thing that bothered me about this promo wasn't anything that was said, but it was that the focus on the camera was off.
Was it?
It was a little blurry.
Oh.
Or I'm getting blinder. No, it was a little blurry. Keep an eye out for that. I think that's too much.
Blurry right
just
now.
Like
How about now?
but in terms of the promo, Crow's feeling pretty beaten. He's down. He just lost to the NXT champion pretty hard.
If you're going to lose to anybody, it may as well be the champ. Just gotta say.
But it sounds like he's taking some time off because he said, when I get back, I'll be better than ever. And when I'm back, I'll be in the ring with the NXT champion. Where is he going? Does he have something to do? Do they want him to like do a little bit more intensive before he gets back on TV?
He's going to take on the government. I don't know.
Hopefully it's not to clear a spot for somebody else coming in, because once they start taking people out to help people back up, there are too many people that we haven't seen yet. And as much as I love seeing these indie darlings, there's tons of people in the back with such huge potential that we barely see that we want to see more of.
Yep.
The Chad Gable, Angelo Dawkins, Steve Cutler, a lot of people. Rawless, we just saw him on TV for the first
Rawless,
time.
Yeah. The Mechanics.
Hugo Knox, whenever he gets back, there's too much talent that we've been teased with that we haven't had a chance to see yet. Yep. And if they're taking people away just so they can bring these others up, as long as they take a break, like a quick check-in at NXT, and then go to the live events and touring. Like Joe, he did a dark match or a Superstars match with Tyson Kidd and broke him. And either way...
Nothing official.
No, nothing official. Also, Ron Corleone brings up, is JoJo still training or is she an announcer now? So she is an announcer. Right after TakeOver this last time, though, she started going on tour with the main roster. So that's why Greg was doing the announcing.
I see.
Yeah. So I hope she'll be back because she's great, but if she has a spot on the main roster, please. She's just absolutely fantastic. Yeah. So hopefully Crow comes back soon.
I think it was strangely worded, the promo. I don't know if we can read into it just yet.
He's rather cryptic.
It
made it sound like he's going away for a while.
Right.
So hopefully we get a clear message.
Back. No, don't go.
Yeah, where are you going? You just got into music, bro.
Don't leave.
We also get a message that Dana Brooke is in Rio for another Arnold competition.
All right.
And she will be back soon, so that probably meant that the day after she flew out to Rio, or like she was about to maybe maybe that weekend or a couple weeks, and so she flew out and she missed the taping.
I wonder where she placed in the competition. They didn't say.
It looked like they gave her flowers, so it couldn't have been too low unless they give everybody flowers, unless it's a good job sort of a thing.
Consolation flowers.
Consolation flowers,
pat
exactly.
On the head for Dana Brooke. You did a good job. Here are your flowers.
Oh, and we got an update from Zuri Frazier. Devin Taylor has been working heel at live events. Cool. So she's working heel. Hopefully she shows a little bit more emotion than she does during her interviews. Something to keep an eye out on. Thank you again, Zuri. Always the man in charge. So we're
mean.
We're good. No. He is. Thank you to everybody who comments. Honestly, Zuri is a very opinionated person who's not. He's not a troll. He's just he's a very real fan. He's our type of fan where he looks at things objectively. So that's what I like.
You. And Devin Taylor, you're on notice.
Actually, Kathy. Yeah. So speaking of which, of course, Kathy's not here. We apologize.
All right.
Hopefully, she'll be back.
That's what we forgot.
Yeah, I'm on this side of the table,
Kathy.
and I can barely smell you.
Oh, good.
And then in the segment that everybody's talking about, Greg brings out Eva Marie, and once she's announced, it is the most disrespectful thing that the NXT crowd has ever done. Now, we have our fun with Dana Brooke, but we try to be constructive, honestly. And this is something where the fans... I was yelling "shut up" at my screen.
You know, with an ovation like that, you'd think her name was Eva Marie Antoinette. Good night, everybody.
Oh, was that you? Was that the one?
That's the one. That was the one.
I thought you were going to go.
That was a real winner.
It was a good one.
They were calling for her head, for God's sake.
It's better when you explain it. So she came out and was trying to say something really simple. 2 lines, quick segment, but nobody was shutting up. They actually had a close-up on somebody booing her.
I'm not sure. And several crowd shots of people... I don't know, arming themselves against her.
People chanting, "You can't wrestle." She
had chains and a club and a table leg.
Saw a couple of torches.
Yeah.
And of course she gives the classy, "Oh, you fans are amazing." Boo!
I love you guys. And they hated her even more.
She laughs off the booze, not the booze, because she probably had some of that afterward. But Greg just asked, "You were here last week, you were here at Takeover. Why?" Simple question with a simple answer. I was here to watch the women. The women are revolutionizing wrestling, and hopefully one day I'll be able to compete with the best. That's it.
It took way longer than it had to just get those words out, because everybody despises her for being basically the puppet. Mm-hmm. They hate. This is a wrestling show. NXT is very much a wrestling show, and she's a reality star in a wrestling show, and nobody likes anybody like that treading in their home ground.
And according to Ron Corleone, Snooki didn't get that bad of a reaction.
But Snooki pulled off a hell of a handspring.
Yeah, she did.
She did.
No, she looks great, and she worked great in that match. I'm actually and people, those types of fans should know what she's doing right now. NXT and WWE even posted about it, that she's training with the Brian Kendrick down here, and I honestly cannot wait to see what she has to bring, because Brian is an amazing trainer. You've worked with him,
yes,
so whether it's Blue Pants or anybody who gets to work with Eva Marie, imagine that sentence. But I am very excited to see what sort of progress she's made.
I'm worried she's going to have Tommy Dreamer syndrome.
Really?
She's going to come in, everyone's going to hate her, she will have to be murdered on television, and then people will go, well, all right, maybe she's paid enough, and maybe I'll start to cheer her. She will have to die in that ring in order for people to go, maybe she's all right.
If that's what it takes to get her over, if she didn't want to get over, she'd have been gone. To be perfectly honest, she was there for the reality show. Then they're like, you mean you got to learn? And then she's like, no, I'm fine. And she realized very quickly how difficult this business is. So for all you people who are like, I can do it, listen to the reactions of this poor girl. And I mean, in the past, either on this show or on other shows that we've been on, we also have fun at Eva Marie's expense, but to be honest, at this point, she's really trying.
She's earning it. She's stuck with it. She's put in the time and the effort and gone out of her way now to learn. There's a lot of people who didn't do that. She certainly has now, so give her a little bit of time and respect. That being said, it'll never happen.
Reminds us of what Tyler Breeze said last week, when he called in and talked about the internet wrestling community listening to something that they want to hate. So by the time it's out, they hate it good and plenty and boo even harder.
Laughed so hard I cried.
That was really good.
Oh, man. Tears of joy.
And if you haven't seen that interview, make sure to go back onto either YouTube or iTunes. And actually, that seems like a perfect transition because we're already talking about it. We got a couple of things to talk about. So if you're listening to us on video, do us a favor, subscribe to us on iTunes. That way you can get the audio version and you can take it on the go instead of having to use all of your bit rate, your gigabytes for your mobile device. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, we have a YouTube channel. It's AfterBuzzTV.com or YouTube.com/AfterBuzz and TV. And you just find our shows, leave us a rating, and that's on both. Leave us a rating on iTunes, leave us a comment on YouTube and iTunes. It helps us out a lot. It helps us get guests like we've had Tyler Breeze, Finn Balor. See what are you good? See, even Hobo is about. He just left a review on iTunes. It took that quick.
No, that was friend of the show, Joe Galley.
Oh, all right.
And I'm sure he too has left many reviews on iTunes. Check him out, KESQ in Palm Springs, California.
Making a lot of headway down there. So do us a favor, leave us a comment on both iTunes and YouTube, and rate us both on iTunes and YouTube. We've had Finn. We've had Bailey. We've had Tyler Breeze. And we're going to have somebody that we can't announce yet. So,
if you... CJ Parker. Don't leave CJ Parker
I said CJ Parker the first time. So, your ratings have definitely helped us make our mark in the world of wrestling journalism. So, please continue to do so. And I'm very mad that we can't announce who our next guest is.
Give it time.
We need to get it confirmed. And once you do, just make sure you follow all of us, and you'll know first. And with that, we have a survey. If you want to help the show become as good as it can ever be, make sure to go to podcast1.com, find us. There's a quick survey you can do, and by doing that, it can help improve the whole product here at AfterBuzz TV. It helps us out with the wrestling shows, with the reality shows, with Netflix shows like Daredevil, and any other show here that you're a fan of. It can help make this a better place for you, the viewer. So please go to Podcast One, that is PODCASTONE.com, do our survey, and we'd really appreciate it.
Do our survey.
And I'm so happy we didn't have like an actual live read, because then it would have been even worse. In the most thrilling press conference that we've ever seen, William Regal standing on top of it like a Zoom, like an X2 Zoom, like home microphone, as well as the WWE and NXT microphones, makes a silent among no photos taken, no flashbulbs going off,
they couldn't have
no
even
crowd
Tyler
cheers.
Breeze's photographer.
All you gotta
just yell, "It's Regal!"
All you gotta do is take an iPhone, put up the flashlight, and just flash it on and off. That's all you gotta do. But of course they didn't, which is fine. The most important thing about this announcement... was that on July 4th in Japan, exclusively on the WWE Network. That's for our British fans. I like butchering their accent. Apparently, I thought it was pretty good until Green Thunder said, "Stop butchering my accent, please." See, we know you. We love you.
We're Americans. We do stuff all the time that pisses everybody off.
Most of the time. So Finn Balor will be facing Kevin Owens for the NXT Championship at the Tokyo Dome on July 4th, live on the WWE Network, which is free this month. Might be free July, too.
This is what the network was made for. International shows that you can't see anywhere else that are broadcast live straight to the network. This could never be on pay-per-view in the United States for for fear that no one would buy it. But because it's on the network, it goes straight to that network, and nobody has to worry about pay-per-view buys. This is a beautiful new world that we're living in these days. Tokyo, Japan, which means basically that Kevin Owens is going to be the champ for the next month. He's not losing it until then, arguably. And Finn Balor's not going to be beaten either.
And technically, Balor's coming home. Technically, in terms of wrestling.
Yeah, second home.
Okay. And we'll get to what Balor says about Japan later in the night. Let's get to our next match. We've been faffing about too much. We miss Adam Rose's faffing.
Faffing.
Carmela versus Alexa with their respective boys in their corners.
Hoods.
What did... a lot of just sheer, well, not necessarily super violent, but
it was hot.
It was a solid beatdown from both. The choking takedown and the mounted just wailing on Alexa three times,
not twice, but 3 whole times. She gave her that Luthez press and just beating the hell out of her. That's what happens when you go to Staten Island and cause trouble.
This was fun. This was like, we've seen the super physically intense women's matches down at NXT, and this was not necessarily. This was a character match. A lot of good action in it too, but this was a character match that made both of the girls shine. I think it sold Alexa as a certified heel now, and it was fun. The thing that I liked about this was there wasn't a full finish. It wasn't like a finisher that ended the match. It was a heel roll up. Nobody got their stuff off.
Beautiful O'Connor roll, but she grabbed the ropes. Damn it! That's
at the last second.
Dirty as hell.
And that's what I like. Instead of a somebody who would just grab the ropes as soon as they had, she was like, she might kick out, and then grabs it, which seemed like a more strategic move.
You can feel your opponent. It's 1-2, and now they've had enough time to actually sort of get the spring back in them and pop out for 3. So as soon as it was 1-2, grab it, 3. Oh, I got it. All right. It's dirty. And Carmela's not the cleanest wrestler in the world.
No.
Especially not in this match. But she's got some spunk to her. She's got this really...
She's scrappy.
She is. That's the word. Scrappy. And I think she's taken a note from Enzo a lot. She's screaming, "How you doing?" at the audience.
A lot of showmanship.
Yeah. And they really appreciate it. And it makes up for it, And
I think this was the final, this was like the final double switch, because Carmela it started to be cheered more and more, but with her wrestling tonight, it was just that final, okay, definite heel, definite face, and now we're set for a while. Cool. All right. A lot of, just a fun match. Solid match. Blake and Murphy run away with Alexa. Truly Team Bam now, as said in chat. And we can't wait.
Always be Blurfy to us.
Yes. Al Blurfy? No.
Blurfy? Blurfy?
Blurflexa. No. Blurflexa. Blurflexa. Blurflexa may cause...
Yep.
Here's something that we can do, some interactive stuff. You in the chat. Not during the live chat. After this video goes public, after the thing goes live, tell us what Blurfexa treats.
Yes.
Please. And hopefully we can get Kathy on the Blurfexa train when she gets...
Blurfexa train.
Blurfexa. That's going to be a hot shirt. Hashtag Blurflexa. I can't even say it. So not right now. Wait till the show's over and we post it as an actual show. Tell us what Blurflexa helps to...
Blurfexa.
Helps to treat. We're done. So we get backstage. Rhyno is... And there was something else about this one too. Rhyno talks about wanting to get back on top of NXT. The Balor won't really phase him, and he's going to gore his way all the way back to the NXT Championship. Now, here's the thing that bothered me. So at Unstoppable, we saw him approach Baron Corbin and said, "That was fun. Let's do it again sometime." And now he's like, "So I'm done with Baron Corbin." Essentially, what does that do for them?
I mean, it doesn't really change anything. The tone is still the same. Rhyno said he enjoyed it, and in the previous promo with Corbin, he said that was fun. So he really enjoys war. He enjoys the physicality and the difficulty of having an opponent who is hard to beat. He enjoys that thoroughly. Mm-hmm. So I think now that he's taken a little bit of time, a week off, and thought to himself, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and focus my sights on other opponents. Granted, I couldn't beat Corbin, but maybe there are a lot of other guys right now on the road to the title itself who are not as big as Baron Corbin, and Baron Corbin himself is not on that road yet. Mm-hmm. So I think if Rhyno just keeps trucking along, he believes that he can run over the rest of the talent because of the close call that he had with Corbin. He almost won that match.
Yeah. So
he thinks to himself, well, if I almost beat a guy this big, I can beat a few smaller guys. Hey, that's logic.
Yeah, no, that's totally logic. So he gave a preview for his future and for what he's going to do tonight. We also see, coming back from commercial, we see Sami checking in for his shoulder surgery.
Yeah, we filmed that. Mm-hmm. Our friend Ryan Katz.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Whole thing. I'm glad even the surgery.
I'm glad he's not squeamish.
Yeah, I know.
So Sami had a mild dislocation in his left shoulder, and while they were in there,
which is right back here.
Glad we have a camera back there. So he mild dislocation, and also he had a mild tear in his rotator cuff.
Yeah.
But the whole surgery.
That was older, though.
Yeah, no. That was. But while we're in there.
When in Rome, burn down Rome.
When my father had heart surgery, they changed 5. But it's like, while we're in here, they just did the whole cabbage and fixed it all.
They were just flicking that 6-1 going, all right.
Might as well do it.
Take the old, gun cleaner and just kind of polish it a little. That's what you do with that heart, right?
Yeah.
Just clean it like you would a revolver.
Spit shine.
Yeah.
So totally successful surgery. Reports are saying he'll be back around October. So at least he gets some time. I just wonder if they're gonna test him down at NXT before sending him up. So maybe having like a quick feud before a live special, and then like, cool, good, successful, bring you up.
They might do him on live shows, yeah. Just maybe. Like, hey, go. Okay, he's ready. Bring him up.
Solid. We next get the return of the Vaudevillains, who have been off of television anyway for quite some time, and it looks as if now that they are full face characters, which is great.
Yep. How can you not like them?
Speaking in front of the show, Ryan Katz, great to hear him again, his intro, and just this was fun. Now the weird part was Jason Jordan we found out recently that he's looking for a new tag partner. Instead of going on his own for some reason, he's looking for a new tag partner. So in that search, he somehow came across Marcus Louis.
Well, when you go searching high and low, you gotta look in the basement as well as the attic, and we all know Marcus Louis enjoys hiding in the attic.
He's an addict?
In the attic. The attic.
Attic.
Above. Attic.
Solid C, no T.
That's what I'm saying.
You're weird. Attic.
Addict.
You're a thrilling television here on the NXT After Show.
Must be a Hoboken thing.
Probably. Yeah, probably. It's a regional thing. So Jordan and Marcus Louis, doing his famous Corporate Kane cosplay, are having a little bit. I got you with that one. I'm surprised you didn't think of that.
I was like, he almost is basically Kane. What year did he take the mask off? That year, whatever year that was, he took the mask off. That's Marcus Louis right now. So, I guess we needed a monster.
But it was great to see him work.
Freaky intensity.
It was just like,
he looks like powder, except bigger. He looks like a big worm. Because he's pale.
He looks like powder. Kathy's not here. It feels weird.
Yeah.
Back to our normal thing, I guess. We got a lot of wailing and just shouting at Aiden English while he was doing the weird mandible submission.
Dude. Just take your own hands and go ahead and the pain is unbelievable.
Right
There's
there.
a pressure point. It's exactly how the mandible claw worked as well. There's a nerve between your tongue and the bottom of your chin. You squeeze it, it causes unbelievable pain. Same with right in the inside of your jaw, right here. Can't breathe either. A lot of fun. Now you know.
Well, speaking of a lot of fun, the Vaudevillains have been taking more of a note from the crowd. It's always good to see that double team move where they put the Dukes up and just sandwich a dude between their fists.
Takes a lot of timing.
And yet they were right on the button, or else that would have been a weird, like, whiplashy sort of thing. Jason Jordan, I always call him JJ for some reason. Jason Jordan tags himself in. Louis is just like, what? And then we see a lot of great promise from Jason Jordan, like we have been. Picks up Aiden off the ground and slams him right back down.
Come on, what a blue chipper this kid is. He's like Shelton Benjamin, but a little bigger, you know?
Yeah, a little bit bigger.
Between Shelton Benjamin and Ashley.
Excuse me? Bobby Lashley?
Bobby Lashley, yeah.
Ashley?
I always wanted to say Rick Ashley. I'm like, no, that is not right.
That is the person who is, in fact, never going to give you up or let you down. And that
Great
was your
tag team partner, Rick Ashley.
And that is your weekly Rickroll of the week.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Ding. Fun from the Vaudevillain side, even though Aiden English was down on the ground most of the time.
Fun but serious.
But serious.
They enjoy their gentlemanly humor, and it's very, very tough, very old school. It's pip pip and all that, and then they punch somebody in the face.
But then it's also kind of like the old school monster. But it's like if George the Animal Steel was a heavy heel and worked out, because that wailing, the way that he was wailing when he was holding him and punching him, that was scary.
I liked the Nosferatu jokes on commentary.
Really good.
That was a nightmare. That was Nosferatu,
which is an actual movie that exists.
With the kind of the buck teeth going on. Yeah, he's kind of freaky. Something not right with that guy.
Zuri again. Marcus has that Hills Have Eyes look.
Yeah, right. Like he's had his hair burned off via radiation. Very weird.
He looks like one of the War Boys from Mad Max, and that's your reference. That's another reference for the week. We're doing a lot of references this week.
Actually, why doesn't he just do a War Boys gimmick then? Why not?
Yeah, why
That'd
not?
be different.
Nathan Jones did it. Gimmick infringement. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
We get a "We Want Gotch" shot. "We Want Gotch" chant. English hits a chin breaker, ducks the clothesline, gets the hot tag. A lot of forearms from Gotch. Hits a running uppercut and then a European uppercut.
I have a shirt idea.
Do you?
It's a piece of tape with a mustache on it. It's Gotch tape. You're welcome.
You said
welcome.
You said you had one good one. They hit the whirling dervish for the win, and Jordan's just kind of mad at Louis, who's just like,
Well, Jordan got knocked off the side. It's not like he was necessarily any better than Louis at seeing what was coming. He got knocked off.
Could you imagine any sort of a character other than the amateur athlete character that has been done so many times before? We just kind of don't have another one. Is there anything? Because right now, I love the physicality. I love his matches. His heelness is a little weird because like, who's the man now? 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 Who's the man now?
Often?
He said it a bunch.
That's incredible.
And he said it in his last match too. And he says it in that sort of succession. He's a robot. That's what it is.
He's a cyborg.
It feels like there's just something missing for me. Do you feel the same way?
I don't know. It's kind of generic.
That's the thing.
It's generic. Maybe he could be a jet plane. JJ the jet plane. That's him.
You said you had one.
I had coffee today. What can I say?
Slow clap for hobo. Okay, so hopefully we get to see this Jason Jordan thing. It gives us an excuse to have more tag matches with new teams all the time.
And it gives an excuse to see Jordan every week and see him progress a little bit. And it creates kind of odd couple of situations like him and Louis.
I think Louis could have been an endgame. Like they could have hit Louis, and then it's just like, what do I do with this guy? But he's still a heel. So what if you kept him on a leash and stuff? just to kind of control him. And then he's like, I mean, not like a gimp leash, but like, what if, because that's...
I wasn't thinking that, but thank you for putting that image in my
and everybody
head.
else's head. I don't think NXT is that.
No.
They're not that forward thinking, but...
I mean, it would be like the Pitbulls from ECW then.
Oh, yeah.
Except to be another dude, which
but a lot
makes it weird.
Also a lot weird.
Yeah.
But it's something. So, they could have led to that where it's like, okay, here's this dude. And also, we sort of just like, okay, Marcus Louis is back. And also, he's been shaving the whole time.
No, man,
he's been gone
it's permanent. It's permanent.
Oh, yeah, because it burned his hair
burned.
off. I can't wait for him to come back as like a standard Frenchman gimmick, and he's got all his hair back, and everybody's like, what? Especially all the people that weren't paying attention.
What if he comes back with a full head of hair and does a hair club for men gimmick?
So, like, he's got, like, a wig on? Like the old Angle thing?
It would be like they transplanted hair from another part of my body and put it on my head. What part of your body did the hair come from?
You wear trunks. We know what sort of body hair is left.
That's what you don't know. That frightens you.
I've been saving it for months. So a solid performance from the Vaudevillains. We're going to see more Jason Jordan and random characters. Probably the Cutler. Probably a bunch of people that we haven't seen too much on TV, but we get a chance to watch them work.
Yeah.
We get a package from Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks. Sort of just reminding everybody how cool she is, which is fine.
Still the boss.
Yeah. BT Dubs, boss. So, you know what I would love? What? I would love an NXT event where Harley Morenstein is in the corner of Sasha Banks, because that would be the boss of NXT and the South Spouse.
And it could have like a Mr. Fuji pail filled with sauce.
Bacon?
No, it's got to be sauce.
Yeah, it's got to be South Spouse. Like a ladder match, but inside the briefcase is bacon. I still think that we'll see a women's ladder match if we haven't yet. I think TNA did it, but whatever. We're not talking about that.
No. I mean, in WWE, this is a company in which we are speaking. It's just what we have. What we work with.
Yeah. So we get another awkward voiceover, which has been going throughout the entire show. Let's talk to Balor about the Japan announcement. It's the place where he won 11 titles. Owens is about to meet the Demon, which will be exciting because his WWE television debut, he'll be full Demon and he'll be in Japan, and he used to do crazy stuff back in Japan.
Yep.
So it's time to see it go all out. Like, Unstoppable was a very cool evolution, but now people are going to see this dude for at least the television audience, because Japan has seen it for the most part, this other side.
They saw something like this. I don't think they've ever seen this before.
Well,
this is something he has sort of created only in NXT. He was doing some version of this, but it wasn't this. So I think Japan themselves are going to be in for a treat, seeing the Demon in person.
I think that whole show is going to be fantastic. Don't know why Brock Lesnar is fighting Kofi Kingston. It's going to be Slaughter. Why would you start with him?
I just hope the Freebirds show up and beat back Lesnar.
Like the actual Freebirds?
Yeah, Michael Hayes is coming.
Pencil mustache and all.
Yep.
So, it's pretty exciting. I mean, we were excited before, but now it's even more of just like, I mean, we know these guys can put on a great match. I hope they give them at least 20 to 30 minutes. It's Japan. That crowd is used to that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's very much.
Because didn't we watch the 45-50 minute match with Kenta and a name that I can't remember, but it was like the old school versus the new school, and it was phenomenal the whole time. Fantastic. Can't wait. 4th of July. I mean, we're going to be having like burgers and dogs and stuff and just be like, we can't check our phones at all.
That's going to suck.
Seriously. But it's just like, hey, cool, fireworks. I mean, watch wrestling.
Can we just like put it on in the background? Like, just have it on
maybe.
on the TV?
We could probably figure it out. We get to our main event. This segment led right into our main event, which is between Rhyno and Finn Balor. And that's when I first noticed that Greg was announcing. I was like, what's he doing here? Okay, whatever. So there's a face-off. Most of this match was Rhyno being the strongest person in the world, and that was great.
He He was. It was the strongest guy in that ring. I mean, clearly. And you could see that multiple times. Balor would just get out of his way, and because there's no way you could match his strength and his power. He's like a moving refrigerator.
No, he legitimately is.
There's something about his speed that's just uncanny. And on top of that, the power. Getting him off of his feet was a challenge. There was a gorilla press in this match that it was just Rhyno pressing him. It's like, screw this guy. The man is so strong. So strong.
And when near the beginning of the match, Finn finally got Rhyno out of the ring, and he was like, oh, here we go, he's gonna dive. Nope, Rhyno ran right back in the ring and shoulder blocked him to hell.
So fast!
Yeah.
Rhino's so damn fast!
And they were talking about that on commentary too. And I mean, if you don't know, yes.
In case you don't know, this is normal. This is a regular thing. That's kind of why he is who he is and where he is, because of the abilities that he possesses. Strength and speed and size and just this hard little like spark plug. But he's not little, that's the thing. But compared to other people, he doesn't have the height advantage. He's solid.
Even despite really like taller people, he still has the weight advantage on them.
Right.
Because he's a flippin' Mack truck.
Yep.
He's one of the most unique superstars in wrestling because of his style of offense, because of his speed and his size, and not necessarily his stature, but he can go toe to toe with just about anybody.
You know what I would love to see? Him versus Rusev. When Rusev's back to 100%. That would kill! I would love that.
That would be amazing.
I love guys that size, that are that stocky, like real wrestler size. Not real tall and lanky.
Not athlete size.
Like compact dudes. Because that's what wrestling really is. It's just these guys with short limbs that try and manipulate and break the other guy. And that's wrestling. And I want to see wrestlers like that.
There's an interesting note that Max Landis, friend of the show, I'm just going to keep saying that until he is.
Arnie Morenstein, friend of the show. We're friends with everybody.
We really are.
Come on.
Hey, he tweeted at me once. But the Max talked about Rusev. Rusev looks a little down. Maybe he should try following the buzzards. I want to see that because I want to see him be cryptic with a Russian accent. So we're getting off topic, but this flippin' match, so good.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those where I have a bunch of notes and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, that was amazing, that was great. Like when Finn went for the lifting reverse DDT, Rhyno threw him off and gave him a huge spine buster.
Jeez.
Got him up real high, slammed him down real hard and fast.
Yep. But even then it as Rhyno hit that move, it was that moment of crap, this kid hit me really hard. And cover.
But it was still like Finn's like Krispy Kreme eyes, just like that really hurt.
When Finn went for the dive onto Rhyno, and Rhino's just splayed out like this.
He does some of my favorite sells in the world. There was one, like the last episode that CJ was on, where he was just like, just bug-eyed and like chin in his throat. He was like, that was hurt. And this finish was one of my favorite things ever. Finn hits the running drop kick, misses the coup de grace, rolls through it. Rhyno comes in for the gore, misses that, roll up for the 1, 2, 3, and Rhyno is distraught. Finn celebrating, and I'm still just like, they ended that good of a match with a roll-up. Though it's those types of matches that make you think anything is possible, as opposed to, oh, he hit the finisher, that's it, cool, good. Better. I think that's a little bit better than like the falsies back and forth, and then like, oh, I'm gonna hit your finisher.
Right.
I think something like that is even more of a like, wow.
Because after all that Rhyno gave to Finn, I mean, just trying to kill this kid.
Yeah.
And I think Rhyno was going into this match thinking, I'm just gonna look strong. I'm gonna spend my time just really looking strong until the end when they really started to get offense in. Then Rhyno thought, well, I'm just going to run him through now. And he misses and he tries to slow down. That was the whole thing. If it was a miscalculation, his face hits that turnbuckle and it's already too late. Now he's all discombobulated and 3 and it's over.
And it took him a sec to realize what had happened. He leaves, and then Finn, walking up, does his last pose up on the stage and gets gored.
Like a Mack truck!
I thought it was going to be off the stage.
Oh, jeez.
But, I mean, then that would give Finn some time to, like, rest up and such, whatever. But that was a with authority spear that left Rhyno on top. He may have lost, but Finn is a changed man now.
I'll tell you, it's incredibly dangerous what he did.
Oh, yeah, such a small
I wouldn't be
stage.
surprised if Regal came next week and gave him suspension for a couple of weeks, because a person like this, in this position, who gets hit in the ribs like that, easily break ribs. Easily.
I can agree with that. My favorite thing, there were two things at the end of the show that I liked. I saw one of CJ's new shirts in the front row, the one, the Palm Be With You, or whatever.
Yes.
I saw that, so that was cool to see. And also, right before they faded out, there was a "Give me an ambulance." So it was like, well, that was a great sell. That was a great sell. What an excellent show. It was actually over an hour this week.
By 5 whole seconds. It was an hour and 5 seconds.
Totally great show. Thank you for joining us live in chat. And if you don't join us live in chat, we are live every week on Thursday. Our times may change because of a guest or for whatever reason. And there was some questions in the chat, and I will say, first thing here, it's not a generic guest. It's not like, oh, we got Dave from accounting here. We have I don't know. We have an NXT superstar that we are waiting to confirm a phone interview, just like we've been doing for all the other ones. And we're working on getting like actual face-to-face interviews when it comes to Aftershock, when it comes to other events around the country. So we are working on getting more of that for you, the viewer, right here on ABTV NXT. So thank you for joining us this week. Remember, we're going to announce who we are going to be interviewing. I lost the word for a second because I'm a little dumb. I lost the word, but as long as you follow the three of us on Twitter, and that's Catherine Kelly, who unfortunately is not here this week, but also if you follow Hobo.
That's your Hobo. ProWrestlingTees.com/hobo. Buy a shirt. If you want to wrestle on TV, you can get a hold of me, 818-381-2563, or send an email to training@hollywoodwrestling.com.
That was a perfect segue, and you weren't surprised at all. You can follow me on Twitter at SoapboxMark, and also I have a podcast with my friend Brandon. It's called at The Gimmick Pod. Make sure to follow that. We're probably going to be doing a show really soon. And we've got merch at soapboxcartv.spreadshirt.com, where you can get gimmick stuff. You can get stuff from our shows. Thank you for following all of us. Thank you for joining us. You can follow all of us here at AfterBuzz TV and AfterBuzzTV.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.